I'm Megan Sitar, and I'm the librarian for your signature course. Remember that my contact information is available on your online course research guide. Contact me at any time throughout the course for assistance with your research. At the end of this short video, you should be able to define the difference between popular and scholarly information and contrast multidisciplinary and subject databases. This information will help you develop a search strategy for exploring your topic throughout the rest of the semester. In your first assignment, you may have found information in encyclopedias and reference sources that provided a broad overview of the history of your technology. Now that you've learned the basic facts, it'll be easier to understand the analysis of the technology that you'll locate in secondary sources like articles and books. Historians, scientists, and archaeologists have likely published information analyzing the history of your technology in the scholarly literature. Scholarly literature is often also referred to as peer-reviewed, refereed, or academic. Let's contrast this type of information with the more popular sources we're familiar with from our everyday information consumption and possibly our high school research experience. Popular sources of information like magazines and newspaper articles are written for a non-expert audience by journalists and staff writers. The purpose of the information we find in magazines and newspapers is to inform and educate and possibly entertain. Journalists often aren't experts on the topic they're writing about, and they're writing for a non-expert audience. If you think about an article in Time or Newsweek, you know you don't have to have a PhD in public policy to understand the news articles. Scholarly sources of information, like academic journals, are written by experts for an expert audience. Scholars in a field present their research findings and analysis in academic journal articles in order to share those findings with other scholars. This is how information is shared in an academic community and how scholars and researchers like you learn from each other and adopt the findings of other scholars into their own research. Scholarly articles and books usually have lots of references to other sources so that it's clear where the scholar found the information they're discussing. This information is usually peer-reviewed, meaning that other scholars in the field review the research prior to its publication in order to verify the quality of the research and results before they're published. Both popular and scholarly information has its place in academic research. If you're looking for essays and opinion pieces about an ancient technology, you're more likely to find that information in a popular source of information. If you're looking for analysis of the history of the technology and more technical descriptions of archaeological findings related to that technology, that information is more likely to be found in scholarly sources of information. Online databases that collect information from popular and scholarly sources can help you explore facets of your topic. These collections are often organized around particular subjects. For example, the database Anthropology Plus collects articles from the fields of anthropology and archaeology. Multidisciplinary databases, like Academic Search Complete and JSTOR, collect articles from across disciplines. The online course research guide outlines starting places and search strategies for multidisciplinary and subject databases that are likely to contain information about ancient technologies. Try starting with a resource like JSTOR to search scholarly information from across disciplines. Go to the advanced search page and enter your keywords separately in the boxes. I'm using the narrower term glass bottles that I learned through my background research, and I'm pairing it with the same strategy I used in Gale Virtual Reference Library: Greek or Roman or Greece or Rome. Click the articles box to filter results like book reviews. We'll discuss additional search and evaluation strategies when we meet in October. If you have questions before then, contact me or chat with the librarian online or at a reference desk for help. Good luck with your research.